What is your name?
My name is Daniel Shephard.
Daniel Shephard. Where do you come from?
I'm from Portland, right before coming back to Korea.
Portland, Oregon?
Oregon.
Very nice. How long have you been teaching English?
I've been teaching English for, this is my second year, so basically like 13 months.
Yeah. How do you like it?
It's got good parts and bad parts.
Okay. What are the good parts?
I like teaching the kids around here. They're really well behaved and they're fun.
Yeah. And the bad part?
Management is usually pretty poor.
Okay. Do you work in a hagwon?
Yes, I do.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge living in Korea or teaching in Korea?
I guess having higher expectations in regards to it being a super developed country, it's a little bit of an in-between from development stages.
Right. And do you have a favorite game or classroom tool you'd like to share?
I really like doing a kind of strange version of Connect 4. Having each box represent a question of some sort.
Okay. You want to explain how you do that more?
I mean, you can make it as big as you want on the board, and then just mark it A through Z and 1 through whatever number, and then create on your own, just create questions that correspond to each block, and split the class into 2 groups, and they ask questions about the book they're reading or their grammar, vocabulary.
Right. Right. How's your housing?
Sorry?
Your housing. How's your housing?
It's good. This time around, I took care of it myself. So last time I had issues.
What happened?
Basically, I came here with my brother, and they told us that we were going to have a certain housing situation. It didn't happen. Then they told us again that they had fixed the problem, but they hadn't really. They were just saying they did because they didn't want to lose space, etc. So it ended up taking about 4 months, and our friends helping us to find the place that they had originally promised us. So I guess basically, if I were to give advice, I'd say get everything in writing and make sure you kind of have someone check it out for you beforehand, or have them send you pictures or something.
Right. So did you see pictures of the housing before you?
No, nothing at all.
Okay.
They just said certain things that turned out not to be the case.
What is your name?
My name is Rebecca Bass.
Rebecca Bass. Where do you come from?
I'm from Colorado in the U.S.
How long have you been teaching English?
Here in Korea, only about 3 months.
3 months.
Just had our 3-month anniversary.
Right. How do you like it?
It's been good. I have actually had some good challenges here in Korea. Teacher problems, communication problems like that. But overall, Korea is, I think, a really good place to start education or being able to learn how to internationally teach English. So it's been a good experience.
How do you find your housing? Do you like your housing?
Well, I actually came with my husband, and so they messed up our housing arrangements. So we're in a really, really tiny little box. So if I had to do it over, I'd probably change. But overall, we're really close to the subway. We actually like the area, so that's why we decided to stay in the smaller apartment.
Where do you live?
We live in Myeongdong, in Gangnae area. So we're 2 stops from the PNU area.
What advice would you give to someone who's never taught English before?
Be willing to accept cultural differences with your coworkers and not kind of push your own culture and ways on them, or expect them to understand why we do things a certain way. Just having the willingness to work hard and take your job seriously.
Right.
I think if the best things that my teachers have told me, or my principals told me, that if you work hard or at least put some effort in your teaching, then that's what they're happy with. So, yeah.
Do you have a favorite game, activity, or other classroom tool you'd like to share?
Sure. I do a lot of singing with my kids. I love music, and so do a lot of stuff from YouTube, things like that. They love to learn anything to do with our culture too, so I always try to bring in just some of our cultural, even Mother's Day and Father's Day or Valentine's Day, teach them what we do, different from them. Like here in Korea, Valentine's Day they only have chocolate, and on White Day they only give candy. So I taught them that in Valentine's Day in the States we give both, and guys can give girls whatever they want, and girls can give guys whatever they want. It's not like so stringent, So just kind of teaching them to kind of broaden their mind a little bit instead of being quite so Korean.
Right. Great, thank you very much.
No problem.
What is your name?
My name is Katie Mansortz.
Katie, what is that?
Mansortz.
Mansortz.
It's a doozy. Mansortz.
Mansortz, okay. Where do you come from?
I am from South Bend, Indiana, in the U.S.
Okay. How long have you been teaching English?
I have been teaching English. Well, I've been in Korea for 3 months, but my education was teaching in English. So I have, just experience with that.
Okay. What would you say has been the biggest challenge living and teaching abroad?
Learning how to get around initially was very difficult. Most Koreans I knew did not take public transportation, so I had to figure that one out on my own and learn Korean in order to do it. So it's a lot easier than it sounds, I guess. But it was the hardest challenge at first. For me, I don't like spicy food very much, so finding good comfort foods and learning how to make what I want to eat have been challenging, or just learning how to find foods that I can find delicious and not challenging to eat.
How do you find it? Do you like it?
It's not the best I've seen, but it's not the worst. It's clean, it's close to bus stops, it's close to the grocery store. I'm walking distance from my school. So those are definitely the positives, is I can walk anywhere I need to go. But it's not central, and I think that can be a challenge at times.
Do you have a favorite classroom tool or activity you'd like to share?
Oh, stamps are a teacher's best friend. They're great for positive reinforcement, so when a child does something good, or you can tell they really get what's going on, you can give them a stamp. Or even the kids who are struggling in class, if you give them stamps, they feel like they've really accomplished something. It really helps push them forward and motivate them. So it's better than yelling all the time in a foreign language. You can use positive reinforcement instead.
Great. And what advice would you give to someone who's never taught before and is thinking of coming abroad?
Oh, be your co-teacher's best friend. Mine has helped me so much, and I'm so thankful to them. And be flexible, because Korea is dynamic, and everything's going to change at last minute, so you just got to go with it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.